Hello and welcome to the Noxer Getting Started video for Windows. The first step is to copy the Noxer folder to your desktop. You may have done this already, but we're going to go ahead and do a quick review of this as well. So if you've downloaded Noxer as opposed to received it on a USB drive, the first step is going to be to create a Noxer folder on your desktop or another location on your hard drive that has write access. So we'll go ahead and do that, going to our desktop and then just right-clicking, creating a folder, calling it Noxer. And then the next step is going to be to open up the zip file that we downloaded, and that's going to be in our Downloads folder. And we'll open up the zip file by clicking on it. And then we're going to copy the contents inside of this zip file to the Noxer folder that we just created on the desktop, like this. Now, if you received Noxer on a USB drive, what you would do is open up the USB drive through Windows Explorer, just clicking on the USB drive name, and it's going to have a folder for both Mac and Windows, and in this case you'd want to copy the Windows folder and then just paste it directly onto your desktop. There are several options to run Noxer. For modern computers, you can use the Nox app provided with the game. You can use an Apple II emulator that you already have, or you can play Noxer on real Apple II hardware. In this video, we're going to show how to play Noxer using the Nox app. Note that it is very important not to run the Nox app from the USB drive or from the zip file that you downloaded it in, as that can cause problems with the functioning of the game. So we'll go back into the Noxer folder on the desktop and double click on the Noxer file. And if you downloaded Noxer depending on your virus scanner, it might intercept the file and run a scan on it, like mine is doing here. It says suspicious file detected, and it's running the scan. Depending on your virus scanner, you might be able to just let it complete the scan, or you might need to go into the virus scanner settings to tell it to trust the file. In this case, the scan completed and it's allowing the application to continue. Also, depending on the virus scanner, you might need to double click on Noxer.exe several times for the virus scanner to allow it to launch. I said Noxer.exe. What I mean here is just the Noxer file that we clicked on previously. And this is what you should see if everything is working after Noxer loads up, is this splash screen here. And that's pretty much it. From there, just follow the game prompts, and of course consult the manual. Also, please note that it's very important that there is only one Noxer HDV file in the Noxer folder at any given time. Most importantly, the Noxer application should only be in the same folder as one Noxer HDV file. If there's multiple Noxer HDV files, then the Noxer application will pick one that it's going to use, and that could result in unexpected effects, such as it appearing that your characters no longer have the same state as you expected them to when you last saved the game, because the images were mixed up. So just keep one Noxer HDV file in the Noxer folder. It is a good idea to make backups of the HDV file periodically, however. In-game there are 2 save slots, but it can be useful to make backups of the HDV files so that you can restore the game to previous iterations to a much greater extent than just the 2 in-game slots. So the best way to do that is just create a folder called Backups, and then copy the HDV file and paste it into the Backups folder. And that way you have a backup or multiple backups if you so choose, but then still keep just the one HDV file in the Noxer Chaos folder. Other emulators. As mentioned, you can also play Noxer Chaos in other popular emulators such as Micromate, Applewin, and Virtual 2. To do this, you'll need to install the emulator and load the Noxer Chaos HDV file. The Noxer Chaos HDV file is going to be in the Noxer Chaos folder that we created and copied the contents over to, and I'm highlighting it right here. It's just called Noxer Chaos HDV, and that's what contains the game itself. And that's what you would need to play Noxer Chaos in another emulator. And that HDV file. We have walkthrough videos from many popular emulators in the support section of our website, noxerchaos.com. You can also play Noxer Chaos on real hardware, and to do that you'll need to load the Noxer Chaos HDV file onto a hard drive card that supports HDV images. And again, the HDV file is the one that I have highlighted right here. That's usually done by copying the HDV image to a USB drive or an SD card that you insert into the hard drive card on your Apple II. Refer to the manual for your Apple II hard drive card for further instructions on that process. Additionally, I recommend consulting the support section of our website and looking at the chart of compatible hard drive cards. Just to see if the card that you have is on here, or more importantly, before purchasing a card, I recommend checking this chart. These are the hard drive cards for the Apple II platforms that we have specifically tested with Noxer Chaos. If the card is not on this list, then it might work, but it means that we haven't tested it, and it may or may not work at that point. And also note here we have for each card a column for each Apple II system model, and if there's not an X in the box underneath the system model that you have, then that particular card would not work. For example, the CFFA 3000, we have an X here under Apple IIe, so we're good on the 2E. There's no X under 2C, so CFFA 3000 will not work on the 2C. And Apple IIgs, we have an X there for the CFFA 3000, so we're good there for CFFA on the 2GS. And that is it on the real hardware tips for now. Before you jump into gameplay, we recommend at least reading the story introduction on pages 7 through 13 in the manual. Now let's go take a look at the manual quick. The manual is in the Game Materials folder, and then under the Manual subfolder. And then there's several PDF files in here, a quick reference card, a booklet version of the quick reference card, which would be if you wanted to print it out, and it sets it up in a nice booklet form. And then the main manual document is this one, just called Noxer Chaos Manual. If we double click to open that, it covers a wide variety of topics that are laid out here in the table of contents. But what we recommend is if you're inclined to just kind of jump in the game and play, while you can do that, we really recommend reading pages 7 through 13, as that has a introduction to the story that is embedded within the game. And then also the quick start section on pages 19 through 21. You might also find it helpful to check out the tutorial section on our website. If you go to noxerchaos.com and click on support and scroll down, there's a link here to tutorial videos. And there's a number of different tutorial videos, including one that basically shows the very start of the game and just kind of getting started, getting your bearings, and really just a whole series of them covering the core topics and game mechanics that you'll encounter throughout the game. Lastly, we invite you to join the Nox Archaeus Discord server. This is a great place to share tips and tricks you discover, and also to ask questions of the Nox Archaeus development team and other players. To join the server, visit discord.noxarchaeus.com. That's it. We hope you enjoy playing Nox Archaeus.